My rant family, what's good, y'all? Face back with you again. Listen, I'm a ranting mofo. I always got something on my mind. You know, I talked about the other day how the correctional system saved me. And most people that heard that said, man, that's positive. You know, this guy went into the correctional system, made some changes in his life, and came out and did better. But one individual mirrored a comment that I've heard just a few times, not a lot, but a few. And he said something to the effect of, well, what have you done to make amends for what you did? You went in there, so good for you. You went in and you got yourself better, but have you made amends with the people you committed crimes against? I gotta give my stance on that, you know, and when I'm talking about this, I'm not just talking about for me, I'm talking in general. You know, look, if you had unalived somebody's family member or severely scarred somebody or had a DUI where you hit somebody and crippled them or worse, yeah, you know, you probably, for your own well-being and for them, want to come and make amends for that. But there's a lot of quote-unquote crimes where, look, I did my time and that's all I got to do. My crimes that I went to prison for were mostly drug crimes. And I can tell you, anybody who's been paying attention to the quote-unquote war on drugs will tell you that there were people getting jacked up sentences for small drug transactions and small amounts of substances, okay? I know for me, my first sentence as an adult, I was sent to prison, okay? All I can tell you is this. Really, unless you've crippled or harmed an individual for life, I don't feel you need to come out and make amends. Make amends to who? Your amends is serving your time. That's what the criminal justice system is about. You commit a crime, you're given a trial, you're sentenced, you do your time, and you're a free and clear individual, okay? An inmate who just came out after doing years in prison shouldn't still feel like they got pressure on them to do more and more and more. Now, let me frame this before somebody quotes me wrong. I do think probation and parole is good. It was good for me. It kept me directed and focused, and it gave me a schedule and structure. So that's good. But what I'm saying is, once you come out of prison, you shouldn't still have to be beating yourself up every day about what you did to get sent to prison. Because that's a cycle back to drug abuse and other stuff. And those that ain't been through it won't understand. They won't. If you sit around beating yourself up, feeling guilty and holding in all this stuff, believe it's going to lead to bad things when you come out of prison, okay? Now, again, I'll say this for probably the fourth time in this video. If you harmed an individual, you know, I think for your well-being and theirs, you need to come out and try to make amends, because if not, that guilt is going to eat at you for a long time. And that's not good for nobody, right? But again, there's a lot of crimes. Let's just say, for example, one of my criminal charges was forgery. Who am I making amends to? Who? You know, the bottom line is some crimes kind of, I don't want to say victimless per se, because that takes away responsibility, but there's not somebody right there to go make amends with. And You know, people that say, oh, well, you did your prison time, but now you need to make amends, don't know shit. Because I'm going to tell you something. Serving your time in prison, being a model inmate and coming out and turning your life around, that is making amends. That's you trying to be a better person for society. Okay? So that is making amends. I just know there's some people out there that feel like if you commit a crime, you should be punished your whole life. And to me, that's crazy. It's crazy. You know, now, well, let me say this. Depending on the crime, of course. There's certain crimes where, yeah, you do need to be punished your whole life. But some of these folks believe any crime, you should be. I've heard people say that shoplifters should be killed, which is just insane to me. You know, people make mistakes. People sometimes do what they feel they have to do for survival. And I don't feel like anybody who's, for one, religious, Christian, Muslim, whatever, you can't have that attitude. Because all those books are about forgiveness. But even as a human, I promise you, carrying that hate in your heart and that attitude that you want to string up anybody who makes a mistake, it's not a way to live, man. It's not. It's not a way to live. It's going to make you feel angry and evil. But I want to hear y'all's thoughts. Let's say a non-violent crime. What should the debt to society be for somebody who commits a non-violent crime? Okay? And to me, all non-violent... Now look, I know there's variations. Like a non-violent crime could be somebody stealing $10 million out of somebody's bank account, and that's horrible, right? But I'm talking about non-violent crimes that aren't quite that extreme. You know, guys that have sold drugs or guys that have maybe committed larceny on a small scale, something like that. What do you feel that their restitution should be? I want to hear some thoughts below. Thank y'all that do watch these. I know seeing a motherfucker rant probably isn't the highlight of some people's day, but I appreciate those that listen, man. Give me some subjects you want to talk about. Peace.